Hi and welcome back to Broadsheet Sydney Around Town. If it's your first time here, don't forget to hit subscribe so you never miss a video. I'm Emma Joyce, features editor at Broadsheet, and I'm the host of this short guide to Sydney. Let's get into it. Hey Holly, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm really good. There's a new place that's opened in Bondi, and I know you've been there. It's opened by the team behind Raw Bar. If we haven't been to Raw Bar or don't really know about it, can you give us a bit of a history?
Yeah, sure. So Raw Bar has been around for close to 30 years. They are positioned on a premium bit of real estate. It's really close to the beach. So they're known for their really fresh sashimi. They just do Japanese really well. And yeah, a few years ago, they opened up Raw Next Door, which was a sister venue to Raw Bar. They did things a little bit differently, but the same kind of concept. It was, very much the second take of Raw Bar. But now Lulu is a little bit different. So there's still the Japanese staples that you know and love from Raw Bar. And the chef is actually come across from Raw Bar. So he helped do 50% of the menu at Lulu. So 50% is the raw side of things. And then the other 50% is a Pan-Asian. So they're taking influences from a lot of different other countries. There's a bit of Korea in there. There's some Thai, even a touch on China. A lot of different kind of modern takes, not so much traditional dishes, but modern takes on fun stuff. Mm-hmm.
So Lulu is what they've called this third venue. It doesn't have the prime position that Raw Bar has. It's on Hall Street. But what they've done with the venue, it just looks so golden and kind of pinkish. Can you run me through the way that they've made it look?
Yeah, so it is dreamy. They've even got the draped curtain at the front. So it's when you walk in, it's very pink, it's feminine. There's a marble bar. So that's the prime position as you walk in. So you can sit there, or there's also some plush banquet seating. We sat on one of the little side tables. It was very comfy. But very pink, very modern. It was actually by the same designer who recently fit out Raw Bar. So the aesthetic's similar in that sense, but it's lovely.
I know that you were particularly wowed by the prawn toast. Can you tell me why?
Yeah, so it's not just prawn toast, it's prawn and scallop toast. I think what I loved most about it it wasn't very thick. It was quite a thin layer of bread, and it comes out in two pieces. So it's the perfect bite size to share. It melts in your mouth.
Are there any other items on the kind of mains that you were particularly taken by?
I loved the Wagyu. That was also melt in your mouth material. There's also a really good chicken dish. I honestly can't stop thinking about the margarita.
Thinking about the margarita.
Yeah.
I mean, that is your go-to cocktail, but what made that one particularly stand out for you?
They have a bit of basil and some Thai kind of herbs in there, and it went down so easy. I was just I need to stop.
I know on their sweets, they've got this kind of take on a Japanese style dessert, which is almost like an ice cream sandwich.
Mm-hmm.
What does it taste like?
So it comes out on two really thin wafers, and then the ice cream's wedged in between it. And there's got this, I'm not even sure what the sauce was. I think it was a bit caramelly, but that was so delicious. It was really soft ice cream too, almost soft serve, but not quite. But it's a bit messy to eat. I really enjoyed it, but yeah.
Well, you'll find Lulu at 75 to 79 Hall Street in Bondi. Thanks for coming in and telling us about it, Holly.
No worries. Thanks, Emma.
The Clearing is a brand new TV show, a psychological thriller, and it stars Teresa Palmer, Miranda Otto, Guy Pearce, and a bunch of other really talented Aussies. Broadsheet's Lucy Bell Bird has seen the first few episodes, and you've said you're completely hooked. Now, this one is based on a real-life cult, or it's loosely based on a cult from Melbourne. Can you explain a little bit about the background and also what this particular show is about?
So it's based on a cult that was around in the 70s and a bit before and after in Melbourne called The Family. So I hadn't learnt much about the history of that cult beforehand, but I also think it's an interesting call from Disney in terms of it's their first scripted Australian series for streaming. And you would think it would be something happily ever after or princessy or animated but no, it's this dark, gritty tale based in real life about drug use and LSD and coercion and coercive control. and cults. So it's actually such a left of field move from them. And they've done it in a really interesting way with a really gorgeous cast and crew.
So Teresa Palmer plays Freya, but she plays Freya, who is a kid who's got all this trauma basically from growing up as part of the cult. And now she's a mum and she's trying to protect her son. And there's another actor playing the younger version of her. Can you tell us about that and the way that it works in the timeline?
When we watch the first episode, for example, it takes place on 2 separate timelines that you don't necessarily realize are linked until the end of the first episode, which might be a spoiler, but the first one's been out for a while now. And the younger version of Freya goes by the name of Amy, which was a name given to them in the cult. All the kids in the cult had names starting with A. And it's played by Julia Savage, who is a remarkable young actress. She's still in her teens and she does such a gorgeous job. Actually, a lot of the child actors in this series are really impressive. They're going into a lot of dark subject matters and putting on really powerful performances and holding their own against people like Miranda Otto and Guy Pearce.
So Teresa Palmer, you interviewed her as part of your story for Broadsheet on The Clearing. What did she say about approaching the role and her younger counterpart basically approaching the same role without really working together?
It was interesting because, they said they hadn't worked together or discussed how they were going to approach the character. But when the show came out, the feedback was that they had just the same essence and the same energy, which I think is a testament to both of them. But they've done a great job. They're not mimicking each other or copying each other, which particularly works in this case because there's such a psychological break between the two characters. They have different names, different appearances, and it's a way in which they are each other's consequences.
Palmer also said there were loads of twists and turns as part of the series. As you mentioned, you don't even know that they are the same person until the end of the first episode. I'd love to know more about Miranda Otto's character because Miranda Otto plays the cult leader, essentially.
She does. And she does it so well. She has such great cult leader energy. I think if I was going to join a cult, Miranda Otto is the sort of person you'd need.
Yeah, sign me up.
Lure me in. She's so powerful in every scene that she approaches, yet so detached. The more you watch, the more you realize that you just do not have a handle on her or really an understanding about what her true motivations might be.
Now, it's so much talent on screen, but you also mentioned that there's quite a lot of Australian talent involved behind the scenes.
Yes. Well, it's quite a family affair for the Ottos. Gracie Otto is one of the directors and the showrunner is Elise McCready, who co-wrote ABC's series Stateless, which was another really hard-hitting, quite psychological drama, and also wrote Ride Like a Girl, which was the Michelle Payne biopic, which also starred Teresa Palmer. And she created the show alongside Matt Cameron and Osama Sami, who did Jack Irish and Ali's Wedding between them. So it's a big, big cast of Australian talent on and off screen and based on an Australian book, based on an Australian real life story. So we're really doubling down on the local stories here.
And what is it that got you particularly excited about this series?
It's got all the gritty details that you want from sort of a true crime series. But at the same time, it's such a well-crafted narrative, particularly seeing the two timelines. Really, I was so hooked to see how Amy became Freya and what had happened in between to make these two people feel so disparate to one another. So I keep going back every single week. Their episodes released weekly, which requires some patience. But you really want to see the fallout, and they're pacing that out really beautifully. They're not giving away too much in each episode, and I think they're doing a great job.
The Clearing is on Disney Plus, and new episodes are released every Wednesday.
Yes.
All right, you've got me hooked. Thanks, Lucy. And that's all we have time for today. As always, you can keep up to date with what's happening around Sydney at broadsheet.com.au and at broadsheet_Sid on Instagram. I'll be back next week, same time, same place. Chat then.